Hey everyone, welcome back to DrafterDan Studios. This week's project is some light modification. Some light modification on lights. Anyway, as you can see, I do need help in the lighting department. This is a new channel. I'm experimenting, I'm learning as I go. This is going to be part of the project. So this light panel is the one I just recently purchased. It is the Neewer NL288 light panel. It can be run by 120 volts or battery, so it makes it quite handy. The downside is it's labeled as a softbox. I don't think it's very soft. You can modify the color temperature and the brightness, of course. That's very helpful, but it's not terribly soft. Obviously, this is the wrong angle. This is just a demonstration, but I would like to be able to control the light a bit more. The simple solution is to throw a softbox on this, like this one. The downside is it don't fit. For whatever reason, when Neewer brought this model out, I think it's been out for like 7 years. It's quite popular because it's inexpensive, right? But it doesn't make a softbox for it. This one is meant for a different version. It seems to work fine, except it does not fit. It's got Velcro straps and all that. Doesn't quite fit. How can we make that work? Well, looking at it, I think what I can do is actually chop a hole in it. Oh, where's this side? I wanted to show you the model number. There you go. I wanted to show you the model number. I wanted to chop this guy, create a slit right down the middle, and see if this will actually work. A quick overview on the soft box itself. This is a collapsible unit. It has little posts that have magnets, and they work great when you collapse it, but in the studio it might be a problem. We'll see how that works out. But the honeycomb grid on top, I actually like. I'm gonna turn this thing off. Forgot about that. I do like the honeycomb. It's super simple. It's just an elastic skirt that fits over that. Pretty darn simple. So my plan is to essentially just cut a great big slit on the bottom and plop it over the top. I bought this, I think it was just from Amazon. I want to say I paid 48 bucks for it. So this may not be for the faint of heart. I am going to destroy this thing. If my plan doesn't work out, I'm out 50 bucks. But I think it's going to work. So come along with me on this journey. Let's see what we can do. I suppose we should do an overview of the NL288 panel. So what you get is just the panel. It comes with a 5/8 mounting point at the bottom. It feels a little bit plasticky, but it will do the job. This is, of course, built to a price point. So here's the back panel with a couple of extra batteries plugged in. These, just as a quick note, these are the readily available NPF versions. These are particular ones are from K-Star. They work quite well. I didn't actually know they'd fit them. I bought them for a monitor, so I was kind of happy to see they fit. So universal. The thing to know here is that the power button is 2 switches. You go to the one and you're running on battery power. See, I can pull the wall outlet off, and it has, when it's on battery power, it should show the remaining power levels of the battery. So I will plug this back in so I can show you the other settings. There we go. I suspect most people are going to use this with 120 volt wall outlet, so we'll just do most of the quick overview with this. So setting 2 is for wall outlet. So 2 knobs, a button for changing modes, and of course the power. So left knob rotates for power, and I will say you got to crank it quite a bit to get all the way. So let's go all the way up to 100. Okay, there we are. So this will work. I don't know why they made it such a fine movement, but you know, it's okay. I mean, for what I'm doing here, I'm just going to leave it like 20%. It's totally fine. This other button is for the color temperature. Crank it to the left, goes down to 3200. Crank it all the way to the right, goes to 5600. So it's called an NL288 because it has 144 of LEDs that are 3200 Kelvin, and it has 144 LEDs of the 5600 Kelvin, and when you're balancing between, that's what you're getting. So, and that is pretty much it. Oh, one thing to note, the remote does work on this one. It works quite nicely. Just make sure that when you're The remote is set to the same channel as this. So this is set to channel 1 just because I only have one panel. And then the remote is also set to channel 1. With this, you can crank the color temperature one way or the other. Okay, you can hold it down. It just takes for a second to change that modes. And then up and down is changing. There it goes. You have to hit the set button. It took a second. You have to hit the set button and then you can change different modes. So there's 100%, crank it down. Oh, it's actually much faster with the remote. That's pretty cool. One thing, if they're not in close proximity, that you need to resync this by hitting the set button. So if you change here, it's not going to show up on the remote. You have to hit the set button and then it should, whoops, I just turned it off. Okay, but anyway, that's the point on that one. Another point is that now this shows off, but this is not actually off. You can't tell, but it is actually putting out LED light at the moment. So when you actually want to turn it off, you have to use the button. All right, next steps. All right, so here we are at the moment of truth, right? So looking at this, it is super, super close. So I believe my plan is to cut this wide enough so if you look, see the little support bars, I can fit it between the support bars. So they're stretchy, I got plenty of room. I'm gonna cut it right across here. This is the ugly side. And we should just see what we can do. So no turning back from here. You can see in there, it's all reflective in there. Nice. I think once I get, this should be wide enough. Once I get this size properly, I'll put a few stitches over here to make sure this doesn't open up any further. Panel time. My intent is to, once I figure out the sizing here, that I can put some Velcro straps to close this on, because we still want to keep that reflective quality all the way around. There we go. Okay. It's completely inside. And I think a couple of Velcro straps to pinch it through will probably do the trick. But then we have to figure out... Oh, okay. So, yeah, it will sit on there just like that. Give me 1 second, I'll plug it in. Really, I bumped it on. Okay. So, not bad. It's only at 3% at the moment. I think this will work. So let's give me a little bit. I'm going to put the skirt on, the honeycomb skirt, and see what that does. Okay, it goes on just like that. I've got this set up now on the stand, and just for a quick view of this one, this is a super cheap light stand I found on Craigslist. I think I paid $10 for it, but it works fine. I got it to sit squarely. I might have to put some foam spacers to keep the distance between the face of this and the panel, but I'm fairly happy with how it looks. So I think the coverage of the panel inside here is decent enough. I think it'll work nicely. So I'm going to turn off the other light sources in this room, and I'm just going to have this as the main light source. I'm going to play with a couple different angles. Let's see what we can create with this new softbox. I'm going to give you a quick look from the back side of this. You still have full access to the LED panels, to the knobs and whatnot. And yeah, I think I do need to put some foam blocks in there to keep it square inside it, but once you kind of set it, it does stay there. So I think that will work fine. Sample image here. I have the key light at 45 degrees for me, up about 60 inches. That's about 1.5 meters. and it's the only light in the room except for a little bit of color over my shoulder. Not too bad. I took a quick look before I shot this particular video. It seems to be okay. I do like how the shadows fall. I think the honeycomb grid is helping in the keeping the light direct and where I want it. Obviously, this is just one light source. With a proper photo shoot, that you should do a little bit more. This is the first time I'm really setting this up and playing with it. Obviously, you saw this is the first time I'm using a light box in situ as it is. So I'm excited to play with this as we go along and see what interesting things we can create for this. So I'm super happy about how this is turning out. I'm going to learn more as we go along. I think it'll be a good addition to the studios. So thank you so much for watching. You have a good one.